Welcome to Ellis Mowers and More. Today we're going to work on this Husqvarna zero turn. May have made a video on it last year. We had to do quite a bit of work to this to get it going. Person used it most of the season last year, most of the summer, probably from July to October, and worked fine. Now it's ignition switch. They've been cranking it with the screwdriver, so that's shot. And for some reason it's kicking back pretty hard when you're trying to start it, so it may need a valve adjustment or something. We'll get into that here in this video. Hopefully nothing's happened internally with the engine or anything like that to where it's not going to run. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get into it. I'm going to change the ignition switch out first, see if I can get this thing to turn over and run, and if so, we'll go from there. So we'll go ahead and get going. So like I said, it's full of oil and everything. Wants to start, but doesn't. We're going to pull the little housing up here for the ignition switch. Is there a third one of these I got to work on? Can't remember. Oh, there's a third one behind the choke here. There we go. Okay. So that should allow us to get... Oh, there's a fourth one. Ooh. There we go. So, ignition switch, we'll pull this out. A couple tabs should get us out if I can squeeze them enough to get out. Okay. I should have plenty of these. So we're going to swap this out, throw this on the jump box, and hopefully this thing will at least kick over so that it'll start for us. Alright guys, time to do the reverse. Make sure all the junk and stuff's out of this. And we'll pop this in. Like I said, it's the exact same ignition switch that most AYP riders use. Slide that in, bolt everything back up here, and then what I'll do is get the jumper pack out. We're going to see if I can start this thing, since I'm not trying to deal with ignition switch problems and things along those lines. I feel like we had to do something with safety switches last time I had this thing, so that may be part of what we need to do here. Just not completely sure. Okay, I can get a key, or we can just make sure that this key should work once we get power to it. So, all right, get a jumper pack, see if we can jump this thing off. And got the park brake up, blades back. I'm going to jump it to see if it'll kick over with the new switch and not having to deal with all that other mess with the old switch and the screwdriver. All right, so let's see what happens here. I got the thing hooked up to it, and we'll get a key in it here. Spray a little bit of spray down the holes here. And what it was doing is it was just kicking back really bad whenever I was trying to crank it. But guys, this thing was doing some weird stuff whenever I was trying to crank it and start it. And one of the things it was trying to do was stay like cranking all of the time for some reason. I put a new starter solenoid in it. It was still doing the exact same thing. But what I ended up doing, and that seems to have solved the issue, was I noticed I told you that the mounting bolts were loose. It's just a few 9/16 under there. You can access all four of them pretty easily. And now the engine doesn't rock. But still, I'm having trouble with it starting and things like that. So as you can see, like, I have to start it with a boost, and whenever it tries to choke, it kicks back a lot. So I don't know if it's a flywheel key issue. I don't think it is. But it could be. I may pull this off to see if I can access the flywheel key. It's not too bad. You have a couple of 10 millimeters here, 8 millimeter on the sides here, and on the back here in order to get that off. Could it be valves? Possibly. Part of me wants to just put a stronger battery in it as well, like a 350 CCA battery. See if that would work. I may try the battery first, and because I really don't need to do a lot of repairs on this if I don't have to, because this person is on a pretty strict budget, so I'm trying to help in all aspects there. And I can use the battery in another application if I need to. So I may throw a throw a 350 cold cranking out battery in it that I have laying around here, and see if that helps matters before I start doing things with valves and stuff like that. So, alright guys, so I think part of the problem is that the starter on this thing is on its last leg. So what I did is I ordered a starter. I always need these starters around here because they go out like crazy. So what I've already done, you don't even have to, I don't think you even have to take the engine cover off to get these off with the way they've got them. So you got 10 millimeter here, 10 millimeter here, your 7/16 for your starter down here on the bottom. So that's pretty nice. And trying to finish testing the review here. But yeah, so I've already taken the 7/16 off down here. Your two 10 millimeters, you'll see the bolt heads. Make sure you don't forget to put the ground wire and stuff back on. We can do that as well. And yeah, so let me get that new starter on real quick. Alright guys, so I think we're about done with this. Unfortunately, I can't really get the running issue resolved. Like I said, I had a $200 budget to work with here, and a starter was at least a quarter of that. After install, about almost half of that. So and then after you add the ignition switch and the transport 30 minutes each way, we're knocking on the door of that budget. So starters in, again, just a couple of bolts to get that in and out. I didn't even have to take the engine shroud off. That in essence has greatly improved the starting ability of this mower. There, the focus doesn't want to work. So I'll show you that. This is a cold start. I did charge the battery just to make sure we're good. much it there. Pretty much all I'm going to be able to do. Like I said, I'd like to do some carb work on it, but budget reasons don't allow. So got the essentials done though. Starter, ignition switch. Had to put a key in it too. So yeah, and then like I said, plus the transport back and forth, we've already basically reached the budget that she has. So that's it. Again, you can see it starts much easier than it was. Can't complain about that. And hopefully she'll have a decent mower for the season as well, now that I've done this work to it. So there it is one more time. Customer gets paid at the first of the month, so I'll take it back to her Friday or Saturday just to tell her that I had to add a starter to the list, and everything should be good. So after I fix this, I think I made a video on this last year. If I remember and have time, I'll put a link if I did of all the things that we did to this to get it back going again. And she used it for the summer. I think toward the end it started getting a little hard to start. That's because the starter was going out on it, or getting weak. And so after we did all that, or after I put the starter in, put the ignition switch in, this thing seems to be ready to roll. So we'll send it on, and hopefully I don't have any more issues with this year. Running wise, it's not getting any worse. I did try to clean the carb by removing the carb bowl and checking in there, but no difference is made. I think there may be something with where it intersects with the engine there that's causing issues. But either way, that's it for this. Like I said, it ain't perfect, but it's a functioning mower again, and hopefully, it'll get through the season. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to work with customers that are on a budget, because do I want to fix the running issue? Yes. Does she have the budget to fix it? No. So we have to go in the order of importance here to get things done. So starter was a must. Ignition switch was a must. It runs smooth whenever you have the blades on, so that's not that big of a deal. It just surges like crazy when you don't. So, take what you can get. Got a lot more machines in here, a lot more videos coming up. I'm looking at 2 at least right now that I'm hoping to get knocked out by the end of the week, and you'll see these in subsequent videos coming down the pipe. Thanks again for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and got some sort of help out of it. If you're having a hard starting Kohler on a Husqvarna, or have ignition switch issues, you need to swap one out. Neither of them are that big of a deal to do. Hopefully y'all enjoy the video again. I'll catch y'all on the next one.